have you ever noticed how easy it is to say yes at work, even when you're already overwhelmed with a lot of things on your plate? Maybe someone's asked for a quick favor, maybe a colleague needs help, maybe your team's struggling and you step in to fix things. And before you know it, your calendar is full, your energy is drained, you don't come back home on time, and you're carrying responsibilities that were never really yours. This is one of the patterns I see most often when coaching high-achieving women. Welcome today to Corporate Therapy. I'm Lucy Paulise, executive coach and Forbes contributor, and this is the space where we explore the psychology behind leadership, performance, and well-being at work. And being the month of women, I would like to talk about something that many leaders struggling with, but rarely name. Not only women, also men, but let's focus today on women in particular. And this problem is people pleasing. I'm going to share 3 tools from my Curious Leadership Framework to help you overcome your people pleasing as a first reaction. So, like I said, one of the patterns I see more often when coaching high-achieving women is chronic people-pleasing at work. These leaders are dependable, responsive, and deeply committed to their teams. They step into solving problems, smooth communication across departments, and saying yes where others hesitate. From the outside, these look like strong leadership and full commitment. But over time, constantly saying yes can quickly lead to exhaustion and burnout and a full calendar that you don't even want to handle. What many leaders eventually discover is that people-pleasing isn't simply a personality trait. Yes, maybe you've been doing it since you were young, since school, but it's often a learned survival strategy. It's something that you actually can change, but you learn when you were a child. For many professionals, especially those navigating ADHD or history of trauma, people-pleasing begins very early in life. It can be a way the inner child learns to stay safe by becoming indispensable and avoiding rejection, and also being able to control everything that goes your way. And this pattern don't stop at work. At home, many leaders also take on emotional labor and responsibilities that slowly drain their energy in the name of keeping the peace. The result is burnout disguised as dedication. So to truly grow into senior leadership roles, women often need to shift from managing how others perceive them to managing their boundaries. This is why I developed the Curious Leadership Framework, which helps leaders respond differently to pressure and expectations. And the first step is self-awareness. If you feel anxiety when considering saying no to someone, that reaction is not a weakness. Really, it's your nervous system responding to an old pattern of seeking approval or avoiding conflict to keep the peace. One simple tool I teach clients is the ABC method of self-talk. So the A is for awareness. Notice any physical signals like tightness in your stomach or in your gut when someone asks for a quick favor that isn't really part of your priorities. So yes, your body can sense it before your brain does it. Then the B is for breathing. Breathing is a natural regulator of your nervous system. Pause, slow your breathing, and that will help your nervous system shift from reaction to choice so you can really decide what you want to do. Breathing tells your brain everything is okay, and you can take the time to decide what you want to do. You'll see how it changes when you start taking the time to breathe and release the air whenever you're anxious. So after you're breathing and your brain feels like more safe, the C is challenging yourself with compassion. It is asking yourself, is this yes coming from service, from something that no one else can do, or really from fear of disappointing someone? So by asking yourself these questions, you figure out what is it that's really happening, and you don't go to your typical answer. So once you challenge yourself, go to the D for doing something about it. Choose a response that respects your time, your energy, and your priorities. The second shift that I recommend, and it has to do with the breathing that we discussed before, is pausing and moving from emotion to evidence. Many women are socialized to soften boundaries with long explanations or apologies. Unfortunately, this often invites negotiation. A more effective approach is fact-based assertiveness, no negotiation. When you decline a request that doesn't align with your role, you're not rejecting a person, you're protecting the quality of your work. I really like using the no but or yes but. So you can say yes to something as long as some requirements are met. Like, yes, I can do this, but only if I do it next week. Or I only can do this if it's just 2 pages, not like 10 pages. Or you can say, not today. Maybe I can do it next week. Can you tell me more about it? So those are some tools that you can use to just not say yes or no in a hard way. But it can give you more information, or it can give your partner more information about what is your availability and what are your boundaries. Another tool that is very important is what I call the 3 brains check-in. Your 3 brains are your head, your heart, and your gut. So whenever you have to answer something, try to check alignment with these 3 brains. So your head asks, does this align with my strategic priorities? Your heart asks you about this task. Does this honor my values and integrity? And your gut asks you, does this opportunity energize me or is going to drain me? Treating your time as a limited resource turns no into a thoughtful leadership decision, not a personal rejection. And I honestly do that. In the past, I used to say yes to everything, every project, every client. And over time, I realized how important it is to listen to your gut, especially because it's easy to listen to our brain. We listen to our brain all the time. But what about our gut? How many times we really listen when we have that pain there saying you, no, that's not the thing that you want to do. Do you listen to it? You can reject clients. You can reject projects because you have that pain. It will tell you what's really good for you and maybe what you need to avoid. It barely ever is confused. And the final shift to overcome people pleasing is aligned action. Healing people pleasing patterns often require letting go of the need to control how others perceive you, really. This is where I teach leaders the very simple 4C's strategy. First, clarify. Who do I want to be as a leader? Second, challenge yourself. What assumption is driving my hesitation? Often it sounds like this. If I say no, I might lose my seat at the table. Is that really true? Third, choose. Ask a more curious question. What higher value work could I focus on if I clear this distraction, for instance? And finally, commit. Set the boundary and follow through. When leaders begin releasing the need to overfunction, something powerful really happens. Work becomes less about avoiding mistakes or pleasing others and more about acting with intention and alignment with your higher purpose. You don't shine by doing everything, but you do shine being the version of yourself that is focused, grounded, and aligned with your values. Think about where you want to be in the next 20 years. So that's your purpose. That's where you're going. So ask yourself, is this that I'm going to say yes to going to put me closer to that, or is going to put me far away? And sometimes you can say, well, yes, if I say yes to this client, I'm going to get more money, I'm going to get closer. But if because of you take that job, it's going to drain you, it's going to make you spend more time doing things that you don't want, you don't enjoy, or you're not good at, then is that really a help for you, or is that a distraction? So today, to celebrate Women's History Month, I would like to help you reflect on how you can find the courage to replace any people-pleasing behaviors that you have with clear boundaries that protect your energy and your purpose. This week, just try it. Notice one moment when you feel automatic urge to say yes. Really pause, take a breath, and ask yourself a curious leadership question. Is this aligned with my purpose? Should I do it? Truly, yes or no? Really, leadership is not about doing everything or doing everything right. It's about finding what are you best at and delegate the rest. Remember the 4Ds that we discussed in previous podcast. Do it now, do it later, delegate, or delete. If this episode resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need it right now. And if you'd like support working through these patterns, I'd love to help. You can book a one-on-one coaching session, or you can enroll to my executive coaching program for 6 months. Are in the links are in the podcast description. You can also go to my website, lucypaulise.com. You will also find the articles that include the topics that I just discussed. Thank you very much for listening to Corporate Therapy today. As always, this week, try what we discussed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.